In this video, we will see how we can able to collect the COMTRADE files automatically using the scheduler option that is available in the PCM600 software application for the ABB Make Protection and Control IEDs. To start with, it's always recommended to use the PCM600 latest version. So in my case, I have the PCM600 2.11 version compatible for the 64-bit operating system. Also, we need to install the latest hotfix for the PCM600 version that we have installed on the PC. So there is another video. You can also see how we can able to install the PCM600 hotfix. There are two different ways. You can able to use update manager to get the software updates for the PCM600 version that you install. Also, you can able to use the ABB software library to download the latest hotfix. So I will bring the PCM600 application. You can able to also select the help menu, and then there you see the about window, and it's recommended to have the latest version of the hotfix, also the latest version of connectivity package version, the product that you are working on. So next point is you need to know the prerequisites to use the scheduler. So I recommend to refer the PCM600 cybersecurity deployment guide that we can able to get from the ABB basically the Hitachi Energy substation automation and library. So there you can able to easily create an account with your professional username, password, with the company login information. There you can able to select the library, and then there is a PCM600 2.11 cybersecurity deployment guide, which is important to perform this task, to know how to set up the scheduler when we are working with the PCM600 2.11 version. So there you see a section dedicated for the PCM600 scheduler setup. And here the recommendation is to start with services.msc from the application. There we can able to see PCM600 scheduler service underscore version 2.11, and we need to provide our user credential which we log in for our Windows PC where we install the PCM600 software application. So we can able to just press Windows R and type services.msc. Also, you can able to reach the services application from your start menu. And there you can just press any of the service and press P. There you can able to reach the PCM600 scheduler service. By default, the services will be stopped, and there you can able to right click and go to the property, and then you can able to just select the logon option. You need to provide the account details that you logged in on your PC. Basically, the logged in user should have the administrator privilege to perform this task. How do you know the account name on your PC in Windows 10? It's very easy. You can able to just press start menu. There you can able to just go to the user. Just type the user. There you can able to say add, edit, or remove the user, other user. There you can able to see the account name. So I have the Active Directory domain user, part of the Omicron company. There you can able to see the Omicron / my login name for the logged in user, and my user which I logged in having the administrator privilege, and then I'm good to go to perform this task. Once I provide the login name and the Windows credential, the password, then we can able to just say apply and then OK here. And by default, the service should start, or can able to manually start from this level. And there you can able to also see another recommendation that is about the accepting the ID certificate automatically. So you can able to just go to the Tools menu. There you can able to select options, then select the security settings. Under the security settings, by default, always trust IED security certificate will be unchecked, and it is important to check in this particular case, so that whenever there is a communication that are going to happen from PCM600 from the scheduler to the real IED, it will check for the IED certificate. So, and in that case, when you have an uncheck option here, the pop-up will come in the PCM600. Someone has to provide the credentials to our you can able to just say the certificate pop-up also need an acceptance, whether you want to trust for temporary or permanent. So that particular options you can able to avoid by just enabling this particular option. Just say OK here. Then you can able to also refer the default directory from the disturbance handling, because this is a tool that we're going to use it, and here where we gonna get the records. You can able to just control C copy, and then you can able to right click and then go to the location. There you can able to see the project that we should see once we configure the directory. So now we have the project called SCADA_setup. We don't see any project name under this particular path. So this will be created automatically by the PCM600 scheduler once we set up the functionality that is required for our part. So you can able to just select the tools menu and go to the scheduler tool, and there you can able to see the task manager is running. In case if you find the task manager is stopped, the status, you need to go to the previous step, go to the services and provide the right Windows credential for the logged in user. The user should have the administrator privilege, should access the PCM600 database. And then you can able to just right click this level, and you can also start from the task and jobs, and you can able to add the task. I can able to set the task, how the task has to work. So you can able to just say, in this case, I will just use fixed interval, so that I will just try to poll every 2 minutes once, and the next polling time will start around, let's say, 14, 18, and when the polling should retire or stop, the end condition that we can able to provide here. So I would like to end this iteration after 5 instance, and then you can also able to see there is an end condition. You can also provide flexibly when exactly you wanted to stop this particular task. So in this test environment, I would like to just go with the default option, and every 2 minutes I would like to poll the IED to collect the disturbance records using the scheduler service. And next option is you just expand the bay level and select the IED object. There you can able to right click. You can also just save it, the task that you created, and there you can able to just right click the task and then able to add the ID object. And then you can able to see there is a pop-up coming, and in case if you provide or enable the local account management from PCM600, you can able to provide the right credential, username and password. The user should have the access to the ID database to collect the disturbance records. In case if you have a centralized account management from SGM600 or third-party central account management like Active Directory, you can able to provide the user credential, the user those are having the access to collect the disturbance records. So in this case, it's my test setup a small testing environment. I don't have any username and password. In case if you have a username and password for the IDs, ID objects, you need to provide the right username and password for the user, those who are having the access to the ID database to collect the disturbance records. Basically, the engineer, you can also refer the specific IEDs, a basic redeployment guide, where we can able to see the IC 62351-8 role-based access control roles and privileges for the different users as reference. Then you can able to just cancel at the moment. In this case, I can able to select the ID, and the ID object, you can also rename the job for disturbance record, what purpose, and the tool that we're going to use it, disturbance handling. And there you can able to see new recordings and send reports. You can also just say read new recordings. There you can able to just go to the event log to get the history for the different events that gonna occur for the event that we're gonna create. So let's say save it, the task, and then let's say okay, already the time is up. We'll just go for start time just 20 next, and then right click, or you can also save the settings, then right click the task, you can able to just enable the task. And the next start will happen exactly 14:20. We have some more seconds to go. You can also just start Wireshark. What gonna happen exactly in the backend? It's completely secured. The PCM600 used to communicate with the ID using TLS 1.2 at the moment. You can also use the latest firmware to make sure the latest TLS protocol version used for your IDs. So you can able to select the right interface. You can also just pick the specific ID. When it started, we could also able to see the information. You can able to see the job has been started at the right time, and it's reading the disturbance record for the ID that we have enabled the task. And the ID object is RD 670, and it's almost reading most of the records that are available in the specific ID that we have created at this level. There are so many COMTRADE files available in this particular ID, that's why it's taking a lot of time. Depending on the number of files available in the ID, it takes some seconds, and you can able to see the job has been completed, and the history you can able to also see here in the event log. What exactly happened and when you created those history, you can able to see for the specific ID or the whole project, and you can able to just see the history at this level. So we need to know where the COMTRADE files are stored so that we can able to see from the tools option. There you can able to select the disturbance handling. This is the location. You can able to just say copy, Windows R, paste the location, go there. There you should see the SCADA setups, the project that we have created, and there you can able to see the PCM plan structure as per our project requirement. There you can go to the specific ID object, and you see there are a lot of COMTRADE files, and you can see overall 200 COMTRADE files are available in this ID object. So this is just a maximum number for this ID object, and we can able to even collect all these COMTRADE files. So in case if you would like to also check another case, for example, it automatically does a job in parallel when you're working with another options. Right click the ID object, you can able to just go to the disturbance handling tool to create the new COMTRADE file. Basically the manual trigger which we can able to do for the ABB IEDs. So that we can also make sure the newly created records also collected with this scheduler option. You can also export this scheduled backup to the different customized location from the tools section, tools menu, and the option that you can able to provide the different drive, even the network drive, to make sure the COMTRADE files are stored in the proper directory. So I have opened the disturbance handling tool. There you can able to see so many disturbance records are available. You can able to right click any the empty page, or in this case I have small empty page. There you can able to see execute manual trigger, and I will just execute the manual trigger to create the new disturbance record on the selected ID object, and we should also able to collect the newly created disturbance record that are available in the ID with the scheduler. So this is how we do create the manual trigger from the PCM600 ID configuration tool. So the other way is you can also able to create the manual trigger from the ideal HMI. So the convenient way is to do from the PCM600 from the disturbance handling tool when you wanted to make sure the channels are properly assigned for the COMTRADE file that we wanted to collect post fault. So we can able to even create the manual trigger to make sure that the channels are properly coming or not. You can also able to just go to the location, post the execution. It's also updating the table, and the ID also read the recently executed COMTRADE file manually that we have did now. So we go to the location, the share folder, and we recently also executed one of the COMTRADE files. You can also able to just double click. This is a new file format, the CFF file format, part of the COMTRADE standard 2013, I guess. You can also able to see the channels, the digital channels. When you configure properly, you can able to see the proper binary signals or the analog signal name that you configured in the PCM600. So in this case, as a test setup, I didn't configure the voltage channels and current channels, also the binary signal, but in a proper setup, you will be able to see the right name. So you can able to even still go to the tools menu, scheduler. There you can able to see the history. The scheduler started again, and it's pulling the COMTRADE files. So that this time we should be able to get the newly created event, the COMTRADE file, manually from the disturbance handling tool. So that when there is a polling happening from scheduler, it will basically collect the newly available COMTRADE files. Once it is succeeded, we can able to see the history in the folder. It's also again update the database. In this case, the location. Okay, I forgot to show the the Wireshark, which I have started, you can able to see this is a communication between the IED. My PC is having 192.168.210.68 and the IED IP address is 192.168.210.125 and it uses the TLS 1.2 and it will also try to handshake with IED and it also communicate with IED and IED also respond with the secure communication so that no other person in the network can able to um, know what exactly happening between the client and server. So in this case, our PCM600 is client and the ID is a server, and it is doing the communication within the client server communication principle and also extending the certificate, and completely it is secured when we are working with the latest version of PCM600. Okay, let's go to the directory once again and then refresh. We should be able to see the latest COMTRADE files that I have created, and it also should update the table. It also update the whole file content when exactly modified, the history, everything. So this is how we could able to do the scheduler task to collect the COMTRADE files from the ABB IEDs. In case if you have medium voltage IDs, the process is similar. You can able to just right click the ID, click the ID object. You can able to just um, create another task. You can able to have multiple tasks for different different, or if you have another ID, we'll just try to see another ID if it's available online. You can also able to create a job for another ID which is from medium voltage. You can able to say different voltage level available. The task you can able to enable depending on your requirement. So that's all from this video. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.